Hey, what's up guys? This is DarkArmedAlliance, and today I'm going to be taking another deck profile. This is going to be an update of my Six Samurai deck. I haven't done it in a little while, but I think it's going to be a lot of fun. It's nice against the anti-meta deck, or it is a really good anti-meta deck, but it's one of those decks that I know inside and out, and it's pretty popular still, because a lot of people like to pick it up when they've been out of Yu-Gi-Oh! For a while, because they think it's still good. And it is pretty good with Xian back at 3, Gateway's still banned, and Road is at 1, but it's still an okay deck. It's not great, but it's not terrible. But let's get into the deck. With some of the new trap cards, it can be pretty good. So let's get into it. So first off, I'm playing one copy of Zanji. If you control another Six Samurai monster, if this card attacks during the damage step, you destroy the monster that it attacks at the end of the damage step. So it's pretty cool. It's an asceticism target with the next monster, which is Kizan. If you control a Six Samurai monster, you can special summon this to your side of the field. If you control 2 Six Samurais, you can make this, or he becomes a 21 beater. So it's pretty good, pretty good, pretty good. One copy of Iroh. There's a reason I'm playing Iroh, and that reason is, psst, it's Quaking Mirror Force. If this card attacks a face-down defense position monster, it insta-kills it. So, Quaking Mirror Force. And it's also an asceticism target for your Ishin. If you can banish 2 of your Six Samurai monsters in your graveyard to spin a card. I believe it's a monster only. During either player's turn, if you control another Six Samurai monster with a different name, you can move and play 2 Six Samurai monsters from your graveyard, target one face-up monster on field, and spin it back to your opponent's hand. But usually you're just going to target XYZ monsters with that, or synchros. And if you control 2 Six Samurai monsters, you can increase this monster up to 3,200, which is pretty damn good. He only gets his effect also if you control another Six Samurai monster with a different name, which is I. Then I play one copy of Elder. It's an asceticism target for your Kaigeki, or not Kaigeki, Kagamusha. If you can, it's essentially a Cyber Dragon. If you control no monsters and your opponent controls one, you can special summon it out. 2 copies of Kaigeki. When you normal summon it, you can special summon from your hand a Six Samurai monster that's level 4 or lower, and if you control another Six Samurai monster, it gains 1500 attack. 3 copies of Kagamusha. You usually don't get his second or his effect off that much. Usually he's just a tuner, but his effect is that when exactly 1 face-up Six Samurai monster you control is targeted by a spell or trap card or a monster effect, you can change it to this card instead. But you're really not going to get that often, so you kind of just treat him as a level 2 tuner and make Xian with him. Then one Xian Squire, because it's a level 1 tuner, and it can synchro with anything from here up into a Xian. Again, you kind of just want to ignore his secondary effect, because you're not going to get it all that often. During either player's damage calculation and either player's turn, if a Six Samurai monster you control battles, you can send this card from your hand to the graveyard. That monster cannot be destroyed by a battle this turn. I guess it would come in handy sometimes. I've done it a couple of times when I need it. Usually I'll just let the Six Samurai die, or Quaking it to save it. Quaking is amazing in this deck. Did I mention that? But that's it for the monsters. Not that many monsters in this deck at all. But let's get into the spells, guys. So first off, I'm playing one copy of Raigeki, because bombarding my opponent's board is amazing. One copy of Rhoda, because it adds any of my monsters to my hand. 3 copies of Xian's Smoke Signal, because it lets me add any Six Samurai monster that's level 3 or lower, which is usually either Kaigeki or Kagamusha, which is super good. 3 copies of Asceticism of the Six Samurai. With Asceticism, it's a little bit of a tricky card. So that's why I tried to speed through the monsters. If you control, say, Zanji, you can activate Asceticism to special summon a Six Samurai monster with the same attack from your deck. So you special summon your Kizan. Like, if this is 1800, you get 1800. 400, you can special summon out Elder, and then Ishin is Iroh, and that's why I play the ones I do, because everyone has a counterpart. Even Kaigeki you can get out Ishin or Iroh if you have the boost out on it, which would bring it to 17, which is pretty nice. Then I play 3 copies of Shien's Dojo. Every time you normal summon or special summon a 6 Samurai monster, you put a Bushai counter on this. I think that's how you say it. You put a counter on it. And then after it gets a certain amount of counters, if it gets 1 and you send it to grave, you can special summon a level 1 Shien or 6 Samurai monster. Usually that's why I play Squire, is because I'll normal summon either Zanji or Ishin or any of my level 4 ones, send Dojo to grave, special summon this out, and then go into my Shien. So that's why I play those. Then I play 3 copies of 6 Samurai Unite, which is going to be super easy to get off. It's essentially a pot of greed after you normal or special summon 2 6 Samurai monsters. You send this to grave after it gets 2 counters. The way it gets counters is you normal special summon your 6 Samurais. You send this to grave, you draw 2 cards. Really, really simple. That's it for the spells, guys. Let's get into the traps. So for the traps, I'm playing 1 copy of Torrential Tribute, because, again, bombarding the board is amazing. 1 Bottomless, because I want to stop my opponent from making anything big that can beat over my Shien. Vanities, because it's a quick stopper for my opponent. 1 Solemn Warning, because Solemn Warning, again, stops monsters. The majority of your traps are going to do that. 2 Solemn Strike, because stopping monsters, again, is what I need in this deck. 2 copies of Fiendish Chain, because it stops attacks and it stops card effect or monster effects. That's why I don't play Breakthrough Skill in here, is because this stops attacks. Then I play 2 copies of Double-Edged Sword Technique. If I start getting my 6 Samurais go to grave, I'll activate Double-Edged Sword Technique, and once I activate Double-Edged Sword Technique, I special summon 2 of my 6 Samurais from grave, which usually will be Kaigeki and Kagemusha, and then instantly synchro into my Shien. So if you don't use them, you lose them at the end of the turn. So that's something to keep in mind when you activate your Double-Edged Sword Technique. And finally, I play 3 copies of Quaking Mirror Force. With Quaking Mirror Force, it works really good with Iroh, like I kept saying. If your opponent attacks you, then you can flip all their monsters into face down defense position, and they can't flip them back. With Iroh, if he's on the field and you have control another 6 Samurai, you can attack, and it insta kills whatever it attacks. So even if it has bigger defense, it just insta kills it, which is amazing. Then that's it for the main deck. Let's get into the extra deck, guys. So here we go. So first off, you're always going to play 3 copies of Shien. Shien's effect is that once per turn per Shien, you can negate a spell or trap that your opponent activates. So if you can get all 3 out, your opponent is not going to activate spells and traps because they're going to run out of resources before they can even do that. So 3 Shiens is a must in this deck. I've seen people play 2. I didn't understand why. 3 Shien is just, you gotta have 3 Shien. Then if he's gonna be destroyed by a card effect, I think, let me see. If this card will be destroyed, you can destroy another 6 Samurai instead. So he can protect himself. I mean, he's kind of a wussy for that, but he can sacrifice somebody else to save himself, which is nice. Then, let me just lay these right here so you guys can see them. So it's kind of like a list. Then I play 1 copy of Trishula, Dragon of the Ice Barrier, because if you can normal summon a Zanji, activate your Shien's Dojo, special summon a Kizan, you can go into Trishula that way. So it's nice to be able to go into this. Then I play 1 copy of Stardust Spark Dragon. You can go into this, but it's a little tricky. You have to go into Goyo first, and then make this with your Kaigeki, or not Kaigeki, but Kagemusha. Like I said, it's a little tricky to go into, but you can go into it if you need it to protect your Shien, if you know your opponent's going to be trying to kill it a lot. Then I play 1 Crystal Wing, because you can make it with your Shien if you know your opponent's going to be activating a lot of monster effects. instead of activating a lot of spells and traps, and you have a bunch of these on the field, you can normal summon your Kaigeki, or not Kaigeki, Kagamusha. I keep getting those two mixed up. Your Kagamusha to make this. Then I play one Goyo because it's a level 6 and it's really nice. Now, Kizon plus Kagamusha makes Barkion, Naturia Barkion, which stops traps. Then I play Naturia Beast, which stops spells. Then that's it for the synchros. That's pretty much it. I mean, it's not a lot. I think it's 8. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 9. So let's get into the XYZs. So, of course, we're going to play the Utopia Lightning Engine because we don't really have anything that gets that big in this deck, more than 2,500. So this is our big 5,000 beater. Then I play 101 to steal my opponent's stuff, 1 Castiel to bounce my opponent's stuff, and 1 Giant Hand to stop my opponent from activating monster effects to protect my Shien. But that's pretty much it. That was pretty damn quick. I guess when you know a deck and you've been playing a deck for about 4 years, you kind of just get to know it and know how to tell it and explain it really quick. Anyways, guys, this is Dark Armed Duelist. Don't forget to subscribe, join Dark Armed Alliance, comment, like, and watch some other of my videos. And I'm Dark Armed Duelist, and I'm out. See you later, guys.